How Officer Pat Saved the Whole Town. The job of an officer of the police is watching for trouble and keeping the peace. He has to be sharp and he has to be smart and try to stop trouble before it can start. And that's why one morning while out on his beat on the corner of Chestnut and Mulberry Street, he got sort of worried, did Officer Pat, when his very keen eyes spied a very small gnat going buzz round the head of old Thomas the cat. "Aha," murmured Pat, "I see trouble in that. If that gnat bites that cat, he might as well, very well, that cat will wake up, and he'll let out a yell. That's only small trouble, I know it. But, brother, one small bit of trouble will lead to another. The trouble with trouble is trouble will spread. The yell of that cat will wake Tom, Tim, and Ted, those terrible triplets of Mrs. McGowan. Then they'll yowl a yowl that'll waken the whole town. When trouble gets started, it always starts more. Those kids with their racket and ruckus and roar will frighten the birds, and the birds will come flapping down Mulberry Street with a yipping and yapping. Once trouble gets going, it spreads just like fire. Those birds will come screaming toward Mr. McGuire, the fish market man, and he'll get such a scare, he'll toss that big codfish high up in the air. That's the trouble with trouble. It grows and it grows. That fish in the air will land smack on the nose of that horse over there that belongs to Bill Hart. And the horse will start kicking, horses wagging apart, and pumpkins will come will bounce on the head of Jake Warner, who's fixing the hydrant down there on the corner. And once all those pumpkins start falling on Jake, he'll fall on his wrench and the hydrant will break. There's no stopping trouble once trouble gets going. When hydrants get broken, the water starts flowing. The water will gush right on Mrs. Manila. She'll think that it's rain and put up her umbrella, and that'll knock young Bobby Burke off his bike. He'll fall on the ladder of House Painter Mike. And House Painter Mike, when he tumbles, will spill a bucket of paint on the head of Don Dill. Oh, once it gets started, there's no stopping trouble. That splashing of paint will upset Mrs. Hubble. She'll drop all her dishes. They'll smash on the ground and startle her dog, and the poor frightened hound will jump in the horn of old horn tooter Fritz. And Fritz will fall backward and scare driver Schmitz. Oh, on his dynamite truck, almost out of his wits. And that dynamite truck with its big load of blitz will race toward that tree, and oh boy, when it hits, the whole of this town will be blown to small bits. But lucky for us, down on Mulberry Street, good Officer Pat was awake on his beat, and quick the brave officer swung his big bat on the troublesome head of that troublesome gnat, and kept him from biting old Thomas the cat, and stopped all the trouble before it began. He saved the whole town. What a very smart man. The end.